I hate that we typically have to wander away, get lost, lose big, and screw up before we can realize just how amazing God's grace is. But that's the way it almost always happens, you know? One reason God lets you hit walls is so that his love and his faithfulness will be proven to you again and again and again. If you're always good and you're always doing the right thing and someone tells you God loves you, well, you expect that. Well, why wouldn't he love me? I'm doing good things and I'm a pretty good person. God's love for you is not proven when you're being faithful. God's love for you is proven when you're being faithless. His love for you is not proven when you're being good. His love for you is proven when you're being bad, when you failed, when you screw up, when you lose. And one reason God lets you hit walls is so that his love and faithfulness will be proven to you again and again and again. I've known about God's love and I've known about God's faithfulness my whole life. People have told me about God's love and God's faithfulness my entire life. And I'm so grateful for that. But it wasn't until I hit rock bottom. It wasn't until I came to the end of myself and crashed and burned and failed miserably that God's love, the unconditionality of his love was proven to me in a brand new, bright, and liberating way. Because as people were walking away, God was moving in even closer. I know things about God's love and faithfulness now that I would have never known had life always been good and easy. Look at what he says in verse 11 and 12. He says, if I say, surely the darkness shall cover me and the light about me be night, even the darkness is not dark to you. What a beautiful line. It's not as if darkness has power over God. It's not as if there's some cosmic tug of war battle going on in secret places between God and the devil. And on good days, God is winning, and on bad days, the devil's winning. It's not as if your depression, it's not as if your sadness, your grief, your frustration, your inability to overcome your addiction or bad habit or whatever the case may be, your broken heart. It's not as if those things are too big for God to handle. Even the darkness is not dark to you, oh God, he says. Even the night is bright as the day, for darkness is as light with you. Have you ever felt the darkness? You're despairing because things aren't turning out the way you'd hoped with this particular person or in this particular relationship. You're fearful because something's happening in your life physically or relationally that you can't seem to control and you can't seem to fix. And you start feeling this sort of foreboding encroachment of darkness. Have you ever felt desperate for help? Desperate for mercy, desperate to feel clean? I have. I have felt paralyzed by guilt. I have been crippled at different times by regret. I have felt hopeless in the wake of personal collapse. Convinced that life is over. My life as I knew it is over, and my best days are now behind me. I'll never recover from this, ever. I've lived with the incapacitating fear that I've ruined my life and I've ruined the lives of those that I love. I've felt the dirt of my sin stick to me in ways that made me despair of ever feeling clean again. I've felt that darkness that the psalmist talks about. Who likes feeling dirty? Who likes dealing with an unclean conscience? Who likes to deal with rumbling regrets and monstrous memories of things that you've done or things you wish you would have done? I mean, who likes to remember the cruel things we've said to our spouse or our kids when we're angry, or the things we've done and thought in secret? That stuff plagues all of us at some level, at different times, and in different ways. Well, this psalm gives us the words we need when we feel disqualified from God's love. It reminds us that we're not just fully known, but we're fully loved. Fully.